So it's taken less than a year for Lakers fans to already want Luka Doncic gone. And I mean this when I say this, please trade him. Please, please, please trade him to anywhere. Anywhere. Please trade Luka Doncic. Please trade the best offensive player in the world. Just because your dumbass franchise surrounds a notoriously slow-footed offensive superstar with a bunch of slow players who can't defend either, meaning that he has to consistently guard fast wings, which he can't do, and looks like he's getting exposed. I'm sorry. It's like surrounding fucking prime LeBron James with a bunch of non-spacers and expecting them to win. Which, oh no shit, the Lakers did that as well. The Lakers fucking did that. Like, I'm sorry. You cannot blame Luka when there is a blueprint on how to play around Luka, just like there was a blueprint on how to play around James Harden. Is Luka Doncic that much worse a defender than James Harden in Houston? No. Is he that much worse a defender than fucking Magic Johnson? No. He's probably a better defender than Magic Johnson was. He couldn't defend anybody. And Luka Doncic has so many flaws. Let's be real. He has so many flaws, but he is a fucking maverick offensive talent to the extent where he is one of the 10 greatest offensive players the sport has ever seen. But he needs the ball. He needs to be a decision maker. You have him with you put one primary ball handler beside him, and you have the rest of it. This is literally how you run Luka. You have a rim running, pick and roll big lob threat. You put one other primary ball handler beside him, Austin Reeves, and you surround him with defenders. Even when the Lakers weren't doing that. Even when the Lakers weren't, even when they weren't the greatest shooters and defenders around him, just having competent people around him and Austin Reeves, they were one of the best teams in the NBA. And you add LeBron James back into this team, and they turn absolutely fucking garbage. They are absolutely garbage. And Luka is getting all the blame. Not the dude who they added in. Not the 41-year-old whose contract has fucked this team. It is Luka's fault to the extent that they're trying to trade Luka. They're like, oh, maybe we can trade Luka for... Maybe we can get AD back for Luka, or we can trade Luka for this other superstar. I'm like... People are like, oh, Cade Cunningham's better than Luka. I'm sorry, swap Cade Cunningham for Luka Doncic, and I shit you not. The Detroit Pistons not only make the finals, they walk to the finals. Because you know what? Detroit have enough defenders and enough shooting around Cade Cunningham that if you put Luka Doncic on that team, holy shit, they wouldn't lose. Like, that's the thing. It is very, very clear. It is very, very clear when it comes to it. That Luka Doncic is the system. And people are like, oh, the Harden system would never win. And it's like, they said jump shooting would never win. 5 years ago, they said small ball was the way. I remember having this conversation with Mo Moonsey a couple of years ago, who's an analyst he's on Amazon right now. And I had this conversation, and he was like, oh yeah, small ball's the way. And I'm like, what happened? This was in 2020 when the Rockets were playing PJ Tucker at center. I was like, why don't teams just run double bigs? Because I think it was in the playoffs or something that Oklahoma nearly beat them by just saying fuck it and letting Steven Adams grab every offensive rebound. I think there was, or maybe I'm mistaken, but there was a series in 2020, or was it 2021, where a team went small and a much inferior team nearly beat them by just going huge and just catching their own rebounds. And I'm like, why don't teams ever use double bigs anymore? And I'm like, okay, yeah, it stops you scoring and stops pace, but if you slow down the pace, it gives you an advantage. And he was like, oh, it'll never happen. He's like, oh, teams all go small, it's a copycat league. I was like, surely sometimes you have to zag. And in fairness, it happened. And he was absolutely right in what he talked about. And he was like, it's a copycat league. He didn't think it was going to go full circle with double bigs. He thought that, it was going to kind of stick the way it was. But he was like, so many teams try to beat the Warriors that aren't the Warriors. And they're bad small ball teams. However, now it's a case where it's like, every team should have their own identity. And if you have a Luka Doncic, again, people say the heliocentric offense doesn't work. LeBron James was heliocentric when he won a ring. He just had a secondary ball handler in Kyrie Irving. James Harden went out. James Harden was one historically bad shooting night from his entire team. This is how good the James Harden offense was. They were within 10 points of the Warriors despite missing 27 3-pointers in a row and having their second best player injured, with Clint Capella as their second best player. They were this close to making the finals on a team whose second best player was Clint Capella after CP3 got injured. And they nearly took down James Harden, Clint Capella, and a bunch of role players were this close to taking down Steph, Clay, Draymond, KD, all in their primes. I'm sorry. A team that had no right to even win a game, almost winning a series against the greatest team of all time. People are saying the system that nearly did that can never win. Holy shit. So basically, because Houston missed 27 straight wide open threes in that one game, and if they had made 5 of 27, which is still terrible, Houston win a championship. So because PJ Tucker, Trevor Ariza, all these players, one night in 2018, missed a whole bunch of shots, an entire system doesn't work. D'Antoni can never win a championship. Why? Because Boris Diaw and Amari Stoudemire, in a playoff series that we're going to win, in a year that we're going to win a championship, jumped up off the bench and got suspended. Because 2 starters got suspended for 2 games, which they lost. It was the system's fault. It's Steve Nash and D'Antoni's fault. The 2 players got suspended. No. People talk about everything when they're like, oh, it's this system will never win. A system doesn't win until it wins. If a system can get someone to a finals, a system can win a championship. It's as simple as that. And with Luka, I mean this when I say this. If you are going to bullshit and just surround Luka with random ass players you find, and your 41-year-old worst contract in the league's son, just trade the dude. If you're going to have without question, top 5 basketball player in the world, the second best offensive player of this generation, if you are going to have that guy on your team and you are going to make it a situation where he can't run a pick and roll, which is his fucking game, where he can't do what he wants to do on offense, which he does better than anybody else, which is manipulate the floor in the pick and roll, which he can't do that, can't drive to the basket because you don't have enough shooting, and is forced to play defense because you can't hide him on that end of the floor, then why the fuck do you have him on your team? Just trade him. Get a whole bunch of things and fucking rebuild. If you're not going to actually build around Luka, trade Luka. It's dumb. It's like saying it's like fucking, I'm just off the top of my head trying to think something. It's like surrounding Magic Johnson in his prime with a bunch of old people who couldn't guard and couldn't run or couldn't do anything. And it just turned into fucking nothing basketball. It's like, I'm trying to think of really bad fits. Because it's like trying to make Kobe Bryant play 7 seconds or less. We saw it didn't work. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.